So I held my head up against the wall over and over and over and over again and again. 'Cause I don't wanna be like them. I held my head up against the wall over and over and over and over again and again and again.
Hello and welcome back to the Houston iHockey live broadcast. We're here today at the Big Lake Rec Center. I'm Isaac Smolden, joined by my color guy today, Todd Smolden, and we're getting ready for the first game of the 2018 calendar year for the Hawks against the Hutchinson Hawks here at home.
It's
Todd,
really exciting to be back. We've had a couple weeks off now.
yeah, great to be back in the saddle. We have a bit of a longer pregame show for you guys. We're actually going to jump to our picture of our discussion topics right now. And if you look on your screen, you'll see that. Welcome to the pregame show. We're going to be talking about what you can see on your screen, starting with our 2017 recap. Hawks are 7-4-1 so far to start off the year. Great season so far. A couple road bumps. Definitely a couple highlights too. Some big 4A teams falling down. It's been a pretty good start to the year, Todd.
Yeah, definitely. When you look at those 4 losses, I'm trying to remember, but I think one was Wasilla,
Wasilla,
and Lathrop.
That was the tie, I guess.
Oh yeah, and so I don't think there's been any losses against teams that they should have beat, except perhaps the game they had against Bartlett.
Yeah.
But overall, what I've really been impressed with is I've seen them gradually getting better throughout the season, especially neutral play zone and connecting with passes, skating with heads up, just getting more cohesive as a team.
Yeah, so Hawks have quite the challenge here going into the 2018 year. They've only played 2 conference games. Those have both they played 4 conference games. They're against Tri-Valley earlier in the year, and then Delta for the last 2 of 2017. Not a big challenge. Easily beat Tri-Valley 12-0, 8-0. Pick up the 4 points there. Delta gave them a bit of a run for their money, a lot closer games. Delta is actually winning the second game at one point. Hawks end up winning both of those. They pick up another 4 points. But the rest of the year, they're pretty much only playing conference opponents. If you look down at the schedule, which is also our broadcasting schedule with a couple exceptions, we got Hutchinson today and tomorrow. Hawks then have a week off from games. They play Wasilla for senior night, their last home game here on, I think it's Tuesday the 17th. The date is the 17th on that game. Then they travel to Glen Allen to play 2 conference games there. Play Service that next week. I think that's on the 23rd. And then they cap off the regular season with their probably the toughest opponent they're going to play all year at home, or on the road. They're at home for Monroe. They have 2 games in Fairbanks. And then, of course, we have the next week is the state tournament back here at Big Lake, Houston and Glen Allen co-hosting that. So a much more challenging schedule in 2018 than they saw in 2017, I think.
Yeah, but the good thing about that is that they're going to be gradually tested more and more. So we're looking at these games against Hutch. They did beat Hutch earlier in the year, so I'm not going to say it's those are given, because it's hockey. Nothing's ever given in hockey. But then they play Glen Ellen, which should be a tougher team than Hutch, and then of course they have Monroe. So they're going to be tested, but they're also going to have an opportunity to kind of gradually be tested. Sometimes when you come out after a long break and you play a tough team, and if it goes poorly, it can kind of set the stage for you. But the Hawks have the opportunity to catch some momentum here and really go into that last weekend, showing and proving to Monroe that they're going to be a contender for the state championship.
look at the news and stats. Obviously, the stats from 2017. Bit of good news over Christmas break. It looks like Tyler Shivers actually going to be able to return sometime before the end of the year. He's out there practicing with the team, his hands still in the cast, but hopefully he's here cleared to play in a couple weeks, and that will be a big help to the Hawks offense, who have been riddled with injuries. No news on Zweifel. Sounds like he's still going to be out the remainder of the year, but getting one of their star forwards back is going to be a huge help.
Well, and Tyler, I've been watching him over the last 4 years, and he has gradually been getting better and better. I mean, he could be the fastest kid on the team. He's got a heck of a shot. I don't know how that's going to be impacted by his wrist injury, but if he is able to come back, it'll be great for him being a senior. With Austin Zweifel, I think it's the third time he's broken his collarbone in the same place. So I think it's going to be a little more difficult for him to come back this season. It would be great if he could, as long as it was safe, but we'll have to wait and see on that.
So let's look at our stats leaders here from the 2017 fiscal year. Right now, Isaiah Squires and Riley Scott both tied with 10 points. Scott has 4 goals and 6 assists. Squires has 6 goals, 4 assists. Next up in line is Kai Kingery with 11 goals, 2 assists. Should be noted, 7 of those goals coming from last weekend against Delta. 2 monster games for him.
Yeah, Kai's really catching fire here, and he did miss the first couple of games, and I think those games are included in these stats.
In the number 2 spot is Reed Humphreys. He's got 8 goals and 7 assists for a total of 15 points. And in number 1 for the Hawks, their points leader right now, Aiden Ottengana, 17 points, 8 goals, 9 assists. And we said it so many times on the broadcast, but he is just such an incredible player to watch, and he's having a huge first year for the Hawks.
Yeah, obviously as a freshman, we've mentioned that, so that's great to see. But more importantly, what I like to see in those stats is you see the 9 assists and the 7 goals. 8 goals. So what you see there is you see a well-balanced player, unselfish. He's passing the puck. He's shooting. He's charging the net. He's been a great addition to the Hawks team. It's pretty exciting to watch him play.
Both goalies for the Hawks, Bollinger and Smolden. Bollinger's had the majority of the starts. He's at a 1.99 goals allowed average. Smolden not too far behind with a 2.26 goals allowed. So both goalies have been actually playing pretty strong for the Hawks so far this year.
Yeah, and Smolden started that second game against Delta, and his teammates kind of didn't come out very strong in the second period, but both goalies have been working hard and they've been playing well.
Final thing for this first segment of the pregame show. Let's look at our power rankings so far in the season. At number 6, 5, and 4, I'm going to say them all together because it's really anyone's game, I'd say, down there. You've got Tri-Valley at 6, Delta at 5, Hutchinson at 4. We weren't able to find the exact wins and loss stats for all these teams, but based off of what we've seen, this is the order we gave them. Tri-Valley and Delta, of course, with really, really short benches, but they both came out and worked hard. They've got some talent on there, and these 3 teams here at the bottom, Hutchinson included, they've all beat each other. They've all lost to each other, it looked like. So it's really a toss-up down there, and even though we gave them, the bottom 3 spots, all of them have looked really good this year. They've definitely had their moments. They've looked strong. So, not in no way is that a disparagement to any 3 of these teams. They've looked way better than years past, which is good to see, because in a league with only 6 teams, you want games to be competitive.
Yeah, well, I totally agree with these rankings. The one thing I would say is that Glen Ellen, we haven't really seen them yet, but we do know on paper how they look. And definitely Monroe's going to be at the top of the list, and they're the defending champions, and until someone beats them, that's where they're going to be.
Yeah, we got Glen Ellen at number 3, bit of a short bench, but lots of talent on that bench. Great goaltending from Nicky Frensha.
Yeah.
They're definitely a tough team to beat this year. Have the Hawks at number 2 and Monroe at number 1. This second half of the season is really going to determine what state's going to look like. I think that it's anyone's game at this point, especially with those top 3 teams. Monroe beats Glen Allen by a couple goals in their matchup late in the year, but especially between the Hawks and Monroe, I think it could go either way on any given day. I think Monroe's the favorite, but I definitely think the Hawks are in no means necessarily even a worse team than them. I think, it's a toss-up between those two teams for the state championship this year.
I definitely agree that it should be a competitive state and regional and state tournament, especially with the top three teams, Glen Allen, Houston, and Monroe. And I'm hoping that all those teams will show up during regionals so we can see them at their best.
So I had an interview with Austin Jones, just talked to her about being on varsity, being part of this girls squad for the Hawks. So let's listen to what she had to say earlier today. Here with Austin Jones. She's playing varsity hockey for the Hawks this year. Has a couple points so far. Couple nice hits against Delta in our last two games a couple weeks ago. Austin, what is it like to be playing varsity hockey with these guys?
It's really fun. It's way more intense than the other hockey I've been playing, and yeah.
So Houston has 4 girls playing this year.
Yeah.
All of them have been getting some varsity time in. What's it like to be in that atmosphere? Is it kind of like your own little team, like a private club, or?
It's really fun. I mean, we have our own little group. We hang out with the guys sometimes, normally just like our little group.
So what are your impressions of the 2017 season so far, and what do you think we need to do going into 2018?
It's really fun so far. I think we need to not let our guard down for those bigger teams and do a lot of pressure and yeah.
All right, Austin, thanks and good luck tonight. So we're about 6 minutes away from the national anthem, drop of the puck. We're going to take a short break and then come back with starting lineup and an interview from Kai Kingery about today's game and also his thoughts on the 2017 year. So don't go anywhere. It's the Houston iHockey live broadcast, game between the Houston Hawks and the Hutchinson Hawks. Welcome back to the Houston iHockey live broadcast, game between the Hawks and the Hawks. We're going to cut to Kai Kingery's earlier conversation with me now. He had 7 goals, as we said earlier, against the Delta Huskies. So let's take a look at that. Here with Kai Kingery. He has had a pretty good start this year for the Hawks. Kai, you come into the season couple games late after being injured the first couple. What's it like to get that late start to the season?
It puts me in the mindset that I got to catch back up with everyone else. Everyone else has been practicing. Everyone else has been getting the feel of it. While I was 2 months out of doing anything active, so I had to get back into the flow of things.
2 games against Delta, last 2 games of the 2017 year for the Hawks. You come up with 7 goals in those 2 games, a hat trick each night. Could you kind of walk me through the feeling of those 2 games?
We were missing a couple of key players, some senior players, and we were having a hard time producing goals, so I took it upon myself to help keep the team afloat and just ended up putting goals in the back of the net, hat trick each night.
What have you thought of our performance so far, looking back on the games in 2017 here, first half of the season?
I feel like it was a team in development. There was a couple rough games, but there's a couple of spots where we definitely show our true potential. Games against Juneau as an example.
Yeah, great. That was a great game. We come out with the win, 2-1. Nice close game. Really dominated Juneau, especially early in that game. What do you think needs to be our biggest point here as we head into the the first bit of 2018 here, moving up towards state in February?
To keep our heads together and keep focused. Treat every game like it's going to be the hardest team. We got to bring it together now. Grind the rest of the year.
And finally, I'll just ask, what do you think we need to do against Hutch to get the win today?
I feel like we just need to run what we've been running. It's our first game coming out of the break, but we definitely know how to play, and we just need to stay focused and just treat it like a tough team.
All right. Well, good luck out there, Kai.
Yep.
That was Kai Kingery, varsity forward for the Hawks. Go ahead and look at our 3 key points for the game presented to you by Ace Waterwells. Key point number 1 is going to be constant pressure for the Hawks. We're coming into the first game in the new year, and I can attest, it's like coming back off a summer break. I mean, you take a couple weeks off from having practice every day. Hawks have had 2 practices earlier in the week, and now they're coming into a game that's going to count for division points. So it's going to be key to dump and chase and move their feet, working hard the entire time.
Yeah, well, we don't want to see what happened in the second period against Delta on Saturday's game where they came out super flat. They did cut out to that quick start against Delta, and then they kind of flattened out there in the second period. So I don't think we'll see that, though. They've had a couple of breaks. I know that the coaches have expressed to them how important it is to get points in the conference. And so I'm looking for them to come out really hard and really put pressure on, and let's see some improvements from the series against Delta the weekend before break.
So kind of tying into that's going to be key point number 2. That's taking quick shifts. Guys are going to be a little more out of shape. It's going to be important to make sure you're getting on, doing your job, then getting off the ice nice and quick. Keep guys rested. Hawks definitely have a much deeper bench than Hutchinson. We've seen that all year with the Hawks. They usually have the advantage of numbers, so quick shifts are going to be an important part, especially early in the game when both teams are a little closer to the same level of energy.
Yeah, and I think we're missing Aiden Ongana tonight.
Yeah, he's gone tonight. He's at AK Selects trying out for them. We wish him the best of luck. He'll be back tomorrow. Lines are going to be a little bit mixed up. All things considered, we might see some things change throughout the game. But we are missing a couple guys, at least to start with. So that's going to influence the lines for sure in this first period.
Yeah, well, I'm completely confident that the Hawks have the skill to win this game tonight. Let's see if they come out hard and take advantage of the opportunities they have right off the get-go.
Yeah, and key point number 3, teamwork, making sure you're working together with your teammates, sharing the puck, trying to get the best opportunity here, come out and get this very important win tonight against Hutchinson. So timer's just running out on warm-ups now as we're wrapping things up. So stay tuned. In just a couple minutes, we'll be back with your starting lineups and the drop of the puck for the first period. It's the Houston iHockey live broadcast, live here from the Big Lake Rec Center in beautiful downtown Big Lake, Alaska. Stay tuned.
Turn your back, you're a broken man. They come around and just dying to shake your head. I don't expect you to understand. Just keep telling yourself there's no shame. They don't know about who we are. They don't know about you and I. They ain't no blind by the stars of your eyes. Oh, hot blood love is gonna get you. You're the better man. You wanna reach for the things that nobody can. All you need is to break away, yeah. Just keep telling yourself there's no shame. They don't know about who we are. They don't know about you and I. They ain't no blind by the stars of your eyes. Well, hot blood love is gonna get you. and get up again. Say get up and get up while you can. Get up and get up and get up again. Oh Lord, yeah Lord.
Here's a final straw to take a stride in our right direction. I can hardly see the sky, covering this lonely path. Nothing's built to last. I can almost say that I want you back, but I
Welcome back to the Houston iHockey live broadcast. Let's hear our starting lineups for tonight. Starting for the Hutchinson Hawks on D, number 3, Alex Easty. On defense, number 4, Ryan Geese. At forward, number 6, Ryder Thompson. At forward, number 11, Russell Vivak. And at forward, number 15, Cole Cadell. Starting in net tonight for the Hutchinson Hawks is goaltender Alea Brunty. And starting for the Houston Hawks on defense, number 2, Noah Gillespie. On defense, number 71, Hayden Shivers. On forward, number 3, Riley Scott. On forward, number 13, Isaiah Squires. On forward, number 99, Kai Kingery. And starting in net tonight for the Hawks is number 1, Riley Bollinger. So this first line is a bit of a mix-up for the Hawks. They've got, normally would have Ottengana as center. Instead, they're going to have Riley Scott centering Isaiah Squires and Kai Kingery. And this is probably going to be the first line we see for the rest of the night.
Yeah, well, this makes sense. Riley really gets after it. It's going to be a great center for this line moving up for Aiden.
Correct. I actually have a correction. Aiden's usually playing wing, so I guess Isaiah's the one moving up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, Riley will be a.
Riley has really stepped up. That's actually usually Tyler Shivers' spot. Is that center spot.
Yeah, we've had so many changes this season. It's hard to remember what we had at the beginning of the season.
Riley moved up. He's done a great job at center so far. Isaiah's a very competent wing. I'm sure he'll do fine filling in up there for Aiden tonight. It'll be interesting to see what second line looks like. My guess is we have a lot of guys rotate in throughout the game.
Yeah,
we're having a bit of a delay here at the start. That's okay. Obviously, Kai still playing wing per usual. He's giving me a really weird look right now. We're still stalled here for this.
It looks like they're doing some repairs on the Hawks ice on the Houston net.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they found a
Referee Steve
hole. It
Woods.
looks like the bottom of the net maybe came loose, and
Yeah.
they're tying that up with the straps there. You know, it will be interesting to see who plays in that second line tonight, but you're right. Pretty much the whole season they've been rotating some different kids into that second line. Blake Rogers has been being rotated in and out of the second line. We also have
Noah Plum. JP Nick.
JP has been doing double duty, actually triple duty earlier in the season. He was playing goalie, defense, and forward, so he's a very versatile
JP
player.
does it all. He's like the flex player
Yeah.
for the team.
He's like in baseball what you call a utility man.
Yeah. Finally ready for the drop of the puck for the first period as both teams line up. And we're off in 2018 as Hutchinson wins it back to their defense. Goes down into the zone. Riley Scott now forechecking. He'll pick it up in the corner. Kingery moves down to help out. It gets up to Hayden Shivers on the point. He sends it down to Kingery. Kingery dumps it behind the Hutch net. Savak is there fighting with Squires in the feet of both of them as Riley Scott picks it up. Squires has it back in his feet, still in a bit of a scrum, as now Hutchinson will start moving it the other way. Into the neutral zone it goes. Kingery knocks his man off the puck, picked up by Gillespie, and passed out to Squires. Squires picks it up the near side, chips it up to Scott. Now Scott will carry it into the Hawks offensive zone. Passes to the middle off a skate. Now Hutch will pick it up going back the other way. Noah Plum comes in and levels a man. Knock him off the puck. Scott coming in, he loses it. Hutchinson dumps it down into the Hawks zone. Behind the net, Bollinger stops it. It's picked up there by Hayden Shivers. He's got some time. He passes out to Plum. In Plum skates now as it's chipped away by Hutchinson's D. Past Caitlin Norton into the Hawks zone. Hayden Shivers is there. He'll knock it away from the skates of the Hutch forward. Out to the point, stopped, tried to fire back in. 3 Hawk skaters fighting for it. Eventually it leaves the defensive zone and goes down the ice. Stopped by Brunty, the goalie, and kicked out to the side. Picked up there by Dominic Aaron and dumped back in by Nix. Goes around to the near side. Rhea Steyer's first one in for the Hawks. She dumps it around behind the net. Now Nix is moving in. It'll be picked up by Wenner. Steyers collects it now. Steyers centers to Scott. Scott fires one that's deflected off the skates of Shahan and into the corner. Dumped back to the middle off a skate and just deflected wide of the net. Riley Scott will pick it up. Scott behind the net centers. There's no one there. Hutchinson will go the other way. Wenner with the puck chips it up the near side to Norton. Norton in her skates now. Dumped into the Hawks zone. It's picked up there by Riley Scott. Scott carries it to the far side. Passes to Kingery. Goes through him and is picked up by Eastie in neutral ice. Scott chips it away. Savak will pick it up on the red and now dumps it down behind the net. Bollinger stops it behind the Hawks net. Hayden Shivers passes to Kingery. Kingery tries to clear the zone off the skate. Stops on the blue. Fired in off a body. Now the Houston has it in the neutral zone. Squires dumps it down in for Houston as it goes behind Hutchinson's net. JP Nix picks it up on the far side. Centering attempt. Kingery pokes it through. Now Hutch has it the other way. Plum makes another great hit. And now Cadle has it in the neutral zone. Cadle steps into the zone. Fires one off the legs of Noah Gillespie. Hutch recollects. Goes behind the net. Nate Hutchinson is there. He passes to Plum. Goes back behind the net to Gillespie. Hutchinson picks it up over to Steyers. Goes past Steyers to Eastie. Eastie dumps it in, back to Hutchinson. Out of the zone now as Savak will pick it up and send it down into Houston's zone. Hutchinson stops it behind the net. Passes to the far side to Plum. Plum to Riley Scott. Scott pokes it away, down into the Hutchinson end. No icing on the play as Hutch touched it up. Scott to Rhea Steyers. Steyers throws it. Deflected behind the net now. Scott racing for it with Geese. He loses it over to Eastie. Now it goes up the boards. Picked up there by Skelly. Gillespie stops it in the neutral zone, sends it the other way. Eastie steps through a man. Kingery stops the puck on the red and sends it down the ice. And we're going to have an icing call on the Hawks and a too many men call on, looks like Hutchinson. So the Hawks will go on the power play, it looks like, for the first time in 2018.
A lot of great action there. We actually ran 3.5 minutes off the clock, and we're also having technical difficulties here with our camera. But
That's pretty obvious right now.
But
Hawks sending out the power play 1 line. It's something that we saw them
We got a Hutchinson
run
Hawk penalty.
in practice. And is
Number
that the
14,
voice of
Benjamin
Christopher
Sterling.
Wagner?
Actually, he's serving it.
Wags is back, everybody.
11:32 remaining in the
Lisa
first
Humphreys
period.
filling in, doing a great job. But it is nice to hear Wags' voice over.
well, you know those
The
teachers
PA system.
during break, they get a little bit of used to staying up late and sleeping
Well,
in. I
think
wonder if he just
was
got out of
actually
bed.
helping with the Wounded Warriors project. One of his guys got stuck on the trail, it sounded like, but he managed to make it. Hawks won the face-off, but now Hutchinson collects and sends it out of the zone. Hayden Shivers will kick it just in and then touch it up. So we'll have a stoppage in play.
What I was going to say before the camera fell over is that the Hawks had a great opportunity. Rhea Stiers had the puck behind the net. She centered it right into the slot, and Riley Scott was there. But unfortunately, the Hutch defense got back and deflected a great shot by Scott.
So the Hawks have actually changed up their lines now. I think Coach Stiers a little bit displeased with that opening face-off. Hutch, obviously, Hawks get a quick shot, then Hutch collects, already sends it out of the zone. So JP Nix is centering Stiers and Plum now as the Hawks win the face-off back to Hayden Shivers. Shivers dumps it into the zone. JP Nix going back, chipped out by Hutch and down the ice. Bollinger will come out of the net to stop it. There's no Hawks player on it as Hutch moves in. Bollinger passes across to Gillespie. Now the puck goes to the neutral zone. Goes past Plum, and Eastie will dump it back into the Houston end to be picked back up by Gillespie. Gillespie carries it behind the net to try to regroup. Now he flips it over to Hayden Shivers. Shivers moves up the ice. Passed out, intercepted by Cadle, dumped back into Houston's end. Now Gillespie passes out, and it's going to be picked up by Nix. Nix across the red for the Hawks, dumps it in, and he picks it up in the corner. Now off the skate of Wenner. It gets sent to the high slot. Hayden Shivers is there. Pass across to Gillespie. Gillespie on the near side. Centers it. Off a skate. Now Hayden Shivers will pick it up on the far side point. Dumped in and goes behind the net. Kingery moving in and Scott double team him, and it's sent back around. Noah Plum picks it up on the far side. Carries it back down into the corner. Knocks a man down. Now Scott will pick it up. Scott carries it around. Pass up to Gillespie. Gillespie back down to Scott. Scott gets his stick lifted. It goes down behind the net. Kingery's knocked off the puck now, and it'll be picked up by Ethan Smith on the far side and sent out of the zone. Hayden Shivers on the red across to Gillespie. Gillespie back to Shivers. Shivers on his own blue. Passes out, intercepted there by Cadle. Chipped out to Nix now. Nix carries it into the neutral zone. Nix across the red, across the blue into Hutch's zone. Stops on the blue, tries to pass down. Knocked away from him. And now Hutch collects and sends it down into the Houston end. Picked up behind the net by Hayden Shivers as Hutch's penalty is just now expiring. So they're going to be full strength. Hayden Shivers across the red, across the blue. Carries it in off a skate and now sent back out to the neutral zone. Norton picks it up, sends it in. It deflects off of Noah Plum. And we're going to have a face-off in neutral ice.
Yeah, and I think Coach Stiers right now is not going to be real happy with what he's seeing here on the power play. A lot of real sloppy play, nothing getting set up. It was not pretty. You can definitely tell there's been a couple of weeks off here.
Eastie and Scott taking a face-off. Scott will win it. It's going to be picked up by Kingery. Scott now picks it up, dishes it to Gillespie. Gillespie chips out to Kingery. Kingery into the Hutchinson defensive zone. He passes to the middle, deflection, and Brunty is there to cover it up with the glove.
I will say this though, that the opportunity is open for any Hawks skater who wants to, Houston skater who wants to step up and get some ice time tonight, because if they come out and show that they're ready to play, they're probably going to get lots of ice time.
Yeah. Scott and Eastie taking the face-off. This time Eastie wins it. It's going to be picked up behind the net by Hutch. Center onto the near side. Chipped up to the blue line. Norton stops it, sends it in wide of the net. On the near side now is Gillespie, who fires one deflection right in front, and Isaiah Squires is just a couple feet in the wrong position. Kingery comes in, makes a great hit that knocks a man off the puck. Gillespie picks it up on his own blue. Gillespie passes up to Riley Scott. Scott to Squires. Squires carries it into the zone. He's knocked off the puck now as the Hawks get a change. Eastie with it, chips it up. He's leveled by Squires. Goes back to Gillespie and the Hawks blue. Gillespie passes out off of Kingery's stick as the Hawks get a change. Nix will pick it up and dump it down into the Hutch zone. Around to the far side, it's gonna just leave the zone. Plum couldn't quite keep it in. Plum chips back to Nix. Nix on the red. Puck knocked off his stick by Bronson. Chipped back into the neutral zone down the ice. Goes down into the Hutch end. Behind the net. And now knocked off the puck by Plum. JP Nix behind the net. Knocks his man off the puck. In that corner, it's chipped up. Past Stiers to Porter Jones. Jones fails to keep it in. He passes across. Cato will pick it up before Plum can get to it. Shivers stops the rush, sends it down the other way. Now Hutchinson moves it through the neutral zone. Dumped in, wide of the net. Goes behind. Bolander passes around to the near side. Hutch has some time here to set it up. Cato on top. Carries it down into the zone. Behind the net now, centered right in front, and Bollinger with a fantastic glove save. Will freeze things there. Wide open in front as Hutch has a guy standing right in front of the net, but Bollinger's there to make the glove save.
Yeah, great glove save there. It's a little unfortunate that it got to that point. The Hawks really look tired, and hopefully they'll be able to pick it up here.
Hutch wins the face-off, back to hand, but Austin Jones will kick it out of the zone. Trace Merrigan coming in with some speed. They pass it past him. Now Smith has it on the Hawks blue. Porter Jones, or Kinley Scott, goes in to knock the man off the puck. Hawks have it on the goal line. Bollinger leaves it for Hutch on the near side. Hutchinson chips it out. Goes back to Shahan. Down the ice. It'll be stopped right before the icing. Merrigan's there to fight for it, as is Austin Jones. In the skates of Shahan. He passes to the neutral zone, off a stick. Gillespie's going to let him skate it in. He fired a shot that Bollinger saves with the glove. We'll have another stoppage.
I am seeing a lot of the younger players getting some ice time here. I think Coach Stiers is letting a lot of the kids play. I think he hasn't seen as much as he wants to from his first and second line, and so he's letting everybody play tonight.
Yeah, a bit of a slow start for Houston here in the first period. We're more than halfway through the period at this point. Score is still 0-0. Hawks win the face-off. They send it around. Kingery coming up into the neutral zone. Now he's got a 1-on-0 with the goalie. If he can just pick up the puck a little bit too late as it goes behind the net. Kingery loses it. Now Hutch goes the other way. It's going to be Easty that picks it up. Tries to chip it past Hayden Shivers, but Shivers uses the skate to stop it. Hayden Shivers in his own zone. Passes out to Squires. Squires rushing up the ice now into the Hutchinson defensive zone. Carries it deep into the far corner. He's hit there. Pops back up as the Hawks pick it up behind the Hutch net. Riley Scott on the near side. In his skates, it'll be picked up by Easty, sent all the way around. Hayden Shivers stops it on the far point, chips it back down into the corner. Hawks will get a change. That allows Ryan Geese to pick the puck up, start the rush the other way. Poked away by Plum. Sent back into the neutral zone. Hayden Shivers picks it up there on his own blue. Shivers out to Plum. Plum loses it off the stick, goes back to Norton. Norton across to Hayden Shivers. Shivers up the ice to Nix, goes past him, down into the skates of Wenner. Wenner sends it out to Easty. Easty now coming across the red for a 2-on-2. At the top of the circle, knocks to the ground by Hayden Shivers. And the puck is sent to the corner by Plum. Shivers chips it out to Stiers. Stiers tries to clear, goes up the skates of Shahan. Picked up by Thompson. Now Shivers recollects and chips it out of the zone for Houston. Wenner dumps it back in on net. Deflected away by Bollinger. Norton will pick it up behind her own net. Caitlin Norton circles around, buys herself some time. She's on the near side now. Passed over to Hayden Shivers. Deflected up into the air. Now Nix will pick it up in neutral ice. Nix back to Wenner. Wenner to Cadle, and Hutch goes the other way. Cadle across the blue. Picked up by Kingery. Kingery steps through a man. Now Squires has it. It's a 2-on-0 for the Hawks. He's got Scott in front of him. And they miss the pass. It goes down into the corner. Scott's there to pick it up. Centers to Squires, knocked away by the stick. Great chance for the Hawks, but they could not connect. Bit of a too much of a lead for Squires. Scott picks it up and throws one on net. Grunty knocks it aside. Flipped into the neutral zone. Nate Hutchinson will pick it up there on the red. And we're going to have a hand pass as Plum batted it out of the air. That'll bring the faceoff back into the Hawks' end. A couple great offensive breakaway chances that the Hawks weren't quite able. The first one comes right up that faceoff. The Hawks have done it all year. Win it back to Hayden Shivers. Shivers rings it around the boards, and Kingery streaking up the ice. He just isn't able to get a handle on it. Then the Hawks have a great chance for a 2-on-0, but the pass doesn't connect. It goes down the ice, and we end up getting an eventual stoppage in play not too long after. Hawks win the face-off. Gillespie picks it up, sends it around to Stiers on the near side. Rhea Stiers has it on the hash marks in the Hawks D zone. Dumped back in to the corner. Nate Hutchinson gets it passed around him. Hutch has it right there, right in front. Bollinger makes a pad save and will freeze it for a stoppage.
You know, right there is a little upsetting because you got a guy standing right on the goal line, and it's 5-on-5 hockey, and nobody is going after him.
Yeah.
And that's a recipe for disaster
Hawks
there.
are leaving some guys wide open in front of the slot by the net. They need to come out and challenge these Hutch shooters because Hutch is getting some really great quality chances here. Dumped back in by Hutch and picked up by Johnson in the corner. Fired a shot on net, and that was Bronson who had a shot from the goal line. Bollinger makes another save. Some of our sponsors tonight, Brad's Rifle Company and Ace Waterwells. If you're interested in sponsoring the broadcast, see Lisa Humphreys or Isaac Smolden or email us at houstonhawkhockey@gmail.com. JP Nick still taking the face-off for the Hawks. Hutchinson wins it back, but it goes out of the zone. Then he picked up by Savak and dumped back in. Cadle's there. He's got it on the blue. Carries it into the Houston zone. Centering attempt. Goes past Hayden Shivers and back into the Houston end. Cadle flips it behind. Porter Jones is there to pick it up. Jones tries to pass out. Rhea Stiers knocks man off the puck on the hash mark. Picked back up by Stiers. Trying to leave the zone, but Thompson picks it up for Hutchin. Centers right to Cadle in the middle. Cadle fires one that is deflected over the net and out of play. We'll have another stoppage. Trace Merrigan, Kenley Scott, and Austin Jones going out on forward now for the Hawks. Gillespie and Norton going out on D. Full line change here, and face-off will be outside the zone with 3:16 left in the period. Kenley Scott taking the face-off against Alec Eastie. Linesman has some words with the guys behind him. Puck dropped. Picked up by Hutch. Cadle fires one on net, and Bollinger with another glove save. I don't have the stats in front of me, but to me it looks like Hutch is definitely out shooting Houston here in the first period.
Well, I know we've had some scrambles in front of the net. It could be about even, but it is closer than probably I expected it would be.
Hutch wins the face-off down in the Houston end. Gillespie picks it up, passes out to Merrigan. Merrigan fighting with Eastie. And now Kenley Scott picks it up, centers it up to Wenner. Wenner fires one, and Bollinger with another glove save frees things in the Hawks' end. First line now going out there for the Hawks, Scott, Squires, and Kingery.
And to keep this into a little perspective here, when Houston played Hutchison earlier in the season, I think the score was 8-1 or something like that, and this is looking like a very even contest compared to that game.
Riley Scott wins the face-off. It's left back for Gillespie, who sends it up the boards to Kingery in the neutral zone. Kingery with some speed. He can get past his man here. He's got a 1-0. The puck is knocked away from him behind the net. Kingery still has it, though. He centers it to Scott, and Scott gets one deflected away from the net. Two great chances there for Houston. Out to Norton on the point. Norton loses it out of the zone, and now Cadle has it going the other way. Cadle going up against Gillespie here. Tries to carry it in. Gillespie knocks it into the corner. Goes behind the net now. Riley Scott chips it out. Up to Shahan on the point. Chip pass by Kingery. Kingery with another chance here for a breakaway. Coming into the Hutch zone. Tries to step past, but he's knocked off the puck. A great play by Reed Wenner. And now Hutch has it in Houston's zone. Eastie fires one off a stick. Now Cadle comes in. He has a shot on the goalie, and Bollinger fires and makes a great save off that shot from Eastie. Out of the zone now. Nix is on the forecheck. Passed across to Wenner. Wenner through Cadle to Hutchinson. Hutchinson passes it up the ice. That's Nate Hutchinson of the Hawks, not the team. No ice, as they're going to say Shahan could touch it up. And now JP Nix knocks him off the puck. Hawks have it in Hutchinson's D zone. Plum in the corner, centers to Stiers. Goes past her. Stopped by Nate Hutchinson, kept in the zone. JP Nix behind the net. Loses it. It's picked up by Eastie. Eastie coming out of the Hutchinson end with it now. To the neutral zone. Nate Hutchinson sends it back the other way. Fighting for it on his own blue. He chips it out to Nix. Nix picks it up on the red line. Fires it down into the Hutch zone. Goes behind the net. 1:21 remaining in this first period of hockey. Squires on the hash marks with it as the first line is back out there. Nick centers. No one there except for Hutch. Now they're going out into the neutral zone. Kingery's there. Knocks Hutch off the puck. Bollinger picks it up behind the net, sends it out to Kingery. Kingery tries to flip it out, but it's stopped there by Geese. Now Scott moves in, but it's passed up to Smith in the skates of the linesman as Smith and Shivers are fighting for it. Now Squires comes in to join the fray. They're trying to dig it out of the skates. Scott pokes it out, knocked in by Scully, and now Hutch will just get it into the Houston zone. Fighting in the skates still on the blue line. Eventually picked up in front, deflected over to the far side. Rhea Stiers picks it up, sends it all the way down the ice. It should be an icing call, and it will be. 29 seconds remaining in the first period. We're still scoreless. Hawks will have a D-zone.
It looks like Hutchinson just picked up a penalty for elbowing on that hit against Rhea Stiers right after she iced the puck.
In that case, Hawks will go back on the power play here with 29 seconds left. A bit of a weak start from them earlier, but they'll have another chance here late in the first. First line back out there with Shivers and Gillespie on defense. Hutchinson sending out their killers here for the last 30 seconds. Eastie, he's going to be taking the face-off against Riley Scott. Noah Plum also joining Scott and Squires here for the end of the first. Scott loses it, but Squires picks it up, chips it into the corner. On the far side, Cadle flips it up and down the ice.
Ethan Smith.
And Bollinger will stop it in front of the net. Bollinger flips it out to Plum, off of Plum's skate. Cadle will pick it up, doesn't quite get a handle on it. Now Plum goes the other way. Loses it, back to Hutch, they send it down the ice. Gillespie picks it up, tries to pass out, there's no one there. Winner ends up with it on his own blue and tries to ice it down. Stopped by Squires, Squires moves to Eastie, Eastie sends it to the neutral zone. And that will do it for the remainder of the first period. When we come back, we'll have the first period stats, and then, of course, I drop the puck for the second period. After one, it's Houston 0 and Hutchinson 0.
You're a liar, you're a thief, you're a star, but you don't know who you are. You were just a kid with a sentimental heart, afraid of what'll happen before you would start. And you don't need the baggage, and you don't need the stuff, and you don't need nobody to fill your empty cup. Shine a light here inside the dark and get a little closer to the lonely spot. When there's nothing left to win, then you can only lose what's keeping you from doing what you always want to do. Be who you are. Be who you are. Baby, you're a star. Be who you are.
Welcome back to the Houston iHockey live broadcast. Game between the Houston Hawks and the Hutchinson Hawks. Let's look at our first period stats. There isn't much to see other than the shots for the game. Houston only had 4 shots on goaltender Alea Brunty. Hutchinson had 8 shots on goaltender Riley Bollinger. Both goalies have made all the saves on the shots on goal. Hutchinson had 2 penalties that period, one early for too many men and one late in the period for elbow. Hawks will have the better part of that power play here starting the second period. Bit of a slow start for the Hawks. They're coming off a break. They've only had 2 practices before this game, and it definitely shows.
Yeah, and I think that not all the players were at the practices either because of people being on winter break and stuff. But the true story here is for me, they had 8 shots, and that's because we didn't have defensemen covering in front of the net, and we had the puck in front of their net a lot, an equal amount in that first period. But they had defensemen in front of the net deflecting shots, breaking up passes. So that really is the story there from what I saw.
Yeah, I totally agree. Hawks have definitely had some offensive, some time in the zone, but they're centering the puck, and all that's standing there is Hutch defense. Hutch is doing an excellent job clearing out the puck in front of their own net, and that's the difference maker. They've had way more shots. Houston's defense is playing a little back, kind of on their haunches here. They're letting Hutch skate up and get those shots on net. They need to kind of move out, attack those shooters, and take the puck away. Another thing Houston has also had some great breakaway chances, but a couple missed passes, aren't able to quite get the stick on it. It's making the difference between those 1-0s, which, those are the easiest things to convert into goals. Fast break, 1-0 at the goalie. They're just not able to get the stick on it, get that tape-to-tape pass. It's the difference maker in this game.
Yeah, the other thing that I'm seeing is that, hockey is about 3 zones. You have your offensive zone, the neutral zone, and the defensive zone. And you want to get the puck out of your own offensive zone, and then you want to take care of it in the neutral zone. And then different teams, of course, have different strategies when they dump it into the offensive zone. But unfortunately, right now, we're having problems getting it out of the defensive zone. We're not looking and making passes with a purpose in the neutral zone. And then we're also having a difficult time, dumping it and chasing or whatever the strategy is that Coach Stiers wants to do in the offensive zone. So I would say right now that there really are 3 different zones of hockey that Houston needs to take care of. Unfortunately, in a lot of games, there might be 1 or 2, but right now I think they have 3 zones they need to do a little better job in.
And I think it's that second one that is really the problem. Hawks have struggled a little bit defensive clearing it, but it all ties into that neutral zone play. When you're getting it close to the blue line, that's a no-go zone. You can't stick handle there. You can't mess around with it. You got to get it out into the neutral zone.
Yeah, and
once the Hawks are getting to the neutral zone, they're turning it over to Hutchinson's defense. They need to either keep it on their stick and dump it into the offensive zone, or make better passes in the neutral zone, because neutral zone turnovers are killing them here in this first period.
Right, and looking before you're passing, because even when we've been on the power play a couple of times, someone is going to dump it into the zone, which is a fine play to make when you're on the power play, but if you dump it into the zone on a defenseman's stick, that really doesn't do you much good.
So Houston will have to come back here and try to see if they can turn things around a little bit. We're still scoreless after 1. Stay tuned for the second period of play here in just a few minutes. It's the Houston iHockey live broadcast, game between the Hawks and the Hawks.
lit the fire. I lit the fire.
You call me a liar. You call me so innocent. But you lit the fire. You lit the fire burns. The fire burns inside us. No, I'm not innocent. I lit the fire. The fire. The fire.
I never was a lonely drifter, slow brain shit, I live for the money now. I never was afraid to speak my mind. Baby's got a babysitter, a cocaine dealer, stack up the money now. I'd rather be a hustler than a clown. When the world will be polluted by the ashes of the sun, ain't nobody gonna tell me where to run. If there is a God, she probably wants me to explore the universe. And if life is just a ride, it should be fun. And the air is free, I do whatever I want, and I'm coming up. The air is free, I do whatever I want, and I'm coming up. My heart is going bang bang when I sing for you. I live for the moment now, being in a one subconscious mind. Maybe I'm a one-trick pony, but I ride it, ride it, ride it, ride it, ride it, honey. Maybe I'm a master of the skies. When the world will be polluted by the ashes of the sun, ain't nobody gonna tell me where to run. If there is a God, she probably wants me to explore the universe. And if life is just a ride, it should be fun. And the air is free, I do whatever I want, and I'm coming up. The air is free, I do whatever I want, and I'm coming up. Go to sleep in December, in December.
turn your back, you're a broken man. They come around and just dying to shake your head. I don't expect you to understand. Just keep telling yourself there's no shame. They don't know about who we are. They don't know about you and I. They ain't no blind by the stars of your eyes. Oh, hot blood love is gonna get you. Prove you're the better man. You wanna reach for the things that nobody can. All you need is to break away, yeah. Just keep telling yourself there's no shame. They don't know about who we are. They don't know about you and I. They ain't no blind by the stars of your eyes. Well, hot blood love is gonna get you. And get up and get up again. Say you get up and get up all you can. Now you get up and get up and get up again. Oh Lord, yeah Lord.
Welcome back to the Houston High Hockey live broadcast game between the Houston Hawks and the Hutchinson Hawks. It's just about ready here for the start of the second period. Hawks will be on the power play for 1:30 here. They've got Humphreys, Squires, Shivers, Scott, and Kingery out there to start the power play. Hawks win it back, and it's picked up by Reed Humphreys. He chips it up to Kingery. Now it's sent back into the Houston zone by Cole Cadle. Humphreys behind his own net will get some time, pass up to Riley Scott. Scott chose to chip it up, but Cadle picks it up, sends it down into the Houston zone. Hawks will have to regroup here.
They are on the power play, so hopefully they can put something together with a minute left.
Kingery around the far side, gets chipped past him. Now Squires picks it up in the neutral zone. Squires into Hutchinson's zone. Hawks have a 4-on-2 here, as both Hutchinson skaters are up high. Riley Scott passes up to Humphreys. Humphreys on the point, fires a shot, deflected it over to Kingery. Kingery fires one, and the defense just sends it up over the net. Now Squires fighting for it in the corner. Stopped on the point by Riley Scott. Scott up to Humphreys. Humphreys to the far side, has it on the point, shoots one that's way wide of the net. Over to Kingery on the near side. Kingery chips it over to Humphreys. Humphreys on the point, passed across to Scott. Scott down in the zone, fires one, deflected just away. Kingery with the puck on the top of the circle. Wheels down into the zone. Stops again, passes up to Humphreys. Humphreys on the point, fires one. Deflected to Hayden Shivers. They shoot and they score! That's actually Isaiah Squires. So correction, that's going to be Isaiah Squires with the goal as he's standing right in front. Give the assist to Kingery and Humphreys. The Hawks are on the board. And they take the lead here early in the second period.
Well, great job of passing the puck around the perimeter. Humphreys took a nice low shot, bounced off the leg pad, and Isaiah Squires was there to cash it in.
Yeah, he just turns and fires. Great play. That is exactly what we needed to see from the Hawks power play. It's good to see them. Once they start working the puck and passing, they look really, really good. Now they just need to start doing that a little more consistently. They'll have a really good power play.
Yeah, that's how you draw up a power play in the locker room in between periods.
Nick Rogers and Cody Dreyer now out there for the Hawks.
13:46 remaining in the second
Dreyer
period.
passes
Scored by
back to
number
Humphreys.
13,
Humphreys
Isaiah
over to
Squires.
Gillespie.
Assisted
Gillespie
by
up to
59,
Rogers.
Reed Humphreys.
Rogers
And
into
number
the zone.
71, Hayden
Tips it
Shivers.
down to the corner. Picked up there by Smith. JP Nix knocks him off the puck. Over to Geese. Now Dreyer knocks Geese off the puck. Dreyer collects right in front. He fires one. Brunty knocks it away. Still in front of the net. Now sent in the corner by the defense. And we're going to have a stoppage in play as one of the Hutch skaters appears to be down on the ice.
You know, I didn't see that. I was kind of behind the play. There were a couple of really heavy hits up against the boards, but I'm not sure what happened there.
Yeah, I think I don't know if it was one of the Hawks players. It could have been one of the Hawks players. It's hard to tell because the play was behind the net. I know two of the Hawks skaters were back there. This injury appears to be on the near side of the net on the goal line. So maybe someone crossed in front and there was a collision.
Yeah, I think
fell weird maybe.
I think it might have been a kind of an inadvertent collision because there was not a check in the open ice right there. There was a check over on the left side of the boards, and then there was another one right behind the net. So it must have been kind of incidental contact. We do have a medical professional out there doing an assessment, as well as Coach Jones, and the Hutchinson coach is out there also. The player is moving on the ice and was moving the entire time, so I don't think that they were, they weren't knocked out or anything.
So we're going to take a bit of a break here, waiting for them to finish assessing number 5, Ethan Smith of Hutchinson. So we'll be right back with the rest of the second period when play resumes.
Tell me something, tell me everything. Is there one thing that could mean everything? Tell me something, tell me everything. Is there one thing that could mean everything? Yeah, yeah. Tell me something, tell me everything. You're the one thing that could mean everything. Tell me something, tell me everything. You're the one thing that could mean everything.
Welcome back to the Houston iHockey Live broadcast game between Houston and Hutchinson. Ethan Smith has been helped off the ice. Could be a lower body injury. Wasn't able to put any weight on one leg. We're going to be 5-on-5 here in the Hutchinson defensive zone. 13:22 remaining in the second period of hockey.
We do have the video, so we can go back and review what happened.
Yeah, I'll have to watch
it was behind
later
play.
tonight.
There was no complaining from the Hutchinson bench, so
Eastie wins the face-off back behind the Hutch net. Savak picks it up, sends it out, but Humphreys will keep it just inside. Now Humphreys on the blue, wheels it down into the zone. He fires one, and he scores! Reed Humphreys. Humphreys picks it up on the far side and wheels in. He catches Alea Brunty there by surprise, I think. Great head-up play. He sees that he's got some room there on the near side, and he just flips it in backhand. Great play that puts the Hawks up by 2.
yeah, for you young goalies out there, let that be a lesson to you. When the puck is in the zone, be ready for a shot because they can come at any time.
Houston goal.
Hanel wins the
13-11
face-off
remaining in the
back.
second
Now
period.
Nix is
Scored
on the
by number
forecheck and picks it up in the
59,
corner for
Humphreys,
Houston.
unassisted.
Nix on the near side, stops and wheels back into the zone behind the net. Stopped there by Blake Rogers. Rogers is knocked down on the play. Now Hutchinson has it going the other way. Gillespie stops it in the neutral zone. Rogers sends it back in, deep into the Hutchinson end. First line for the Hawks back out there. Squires in with some speed. He breaks up the play. Now he passes out to Scott, and it's broken up by Cadle as Hutch goes the other way. Hutch in the neutral zone now. They center to Thompson. Up into the air, and Reed Humphreys will pick it up in his own end. Humphreys behind the net. Steps up to the near side to Kingery. Kingery to Squires in the middle. Squires tries to step through, but Thompson picks it up, dumps it back in for Hutch. Bollinger stops it behind the net. Humphreys is there to pick it up. Now he wheels up the far side. He's got some room and he's got some speed here. Humphreys steps past Jahan. Now he's got Scott right on the back door. Deflection in and it goes in. They score. Reed Humphreys, second of the night. And they come right next to each other in this second period. A centering attempt to Riley Scott, who's wide open.
Yeah, bounced. Well,
It was a
I don't
great
think it got
pass,
to Scott.
and it didn't get to Scott. It bounced off the Hutchinson defense and goes in the near side on the goaltender Brunty. So I think Humphreys is going to get that goal. That's his second. And it sounds like Hutchinson's going to be
Timeout,
taking a
Hutchinson.
timeout here in the second period.
In the second period.
Yeah, and
Houston goals
Humphreys
scored by
was absent
59.
from the first
Reed
period.
Humphreys, unassisted.
And so far here in the
His
second
third
period,
point of the evening,
he's
second
been
goal.
partially responsible for every goal that's been scored. So whatever was ailing him in the first period, he seems to have come out in the second period on fire.
We're going to take a bit of a break here as Hutchinson has taken a timeout. We'll be right back with the rest of the second period, so don't go anywhere. With 12:09 left, it's the Hawks, Houston 3, Hutchinson 0. Houston High Hockey live broadcast. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the Houston High Hockey live broadcast. Hawks, after having a slow first period, have exploded here in the second. They're up by 3 goals now with 12:09 remaining here in the second period.
We played 3 minutes of the second period, and we have 3 goals for Houston.
Scott wins it back. The Houston defense will pick it up and send it to the neutral zone. Eastie sends it back to Gillespie. Gillespie across, stopped there by Kingery. Kingery dumps it into the Hutch zone. It trickles into the near side. Riley Scott's there. He dishes it out. Isaiah Squires pokes it away. Now it's collected on the far side by Hutch. Knocked off the puck by Kingery. Gets out to Eastie in the neutral zone. Eastie and Scott racing for it. Now Gillespie picks it up and will go the other way. Gillespie flips it out to Kingery. 3-on-2 here for the Hawks as Kingery passes across to Squires. Squires into the zone. Circles around to Scott in the middle. Scott to Kingery, and Kingery loses it off the stick.
Great pass by Scott.
Great heads-up play by all 3 Hawks forwards. Kingery isn't quite able to get a handle on it. Now Squires fighting for it in the corner as Nix comes in to assist. And when Nix comes in to assist, that usually results in a body being on the ice. Cadle's taking some time to get up. Now he comes in and knocks the puck away. Dreyer picks it up in the corner. Centers it on net. Goes behind, and Rogers picks it up. Rogers centers, and it's right in front. Savak will pick it up and send it out. Gillespie on the blue. Dumps it back in. It goes behind the net again. To the far side, Rogers tries to stop it, but he overskates it. Hutch starts going the other way. Stopped by Hayden Shivers. Keeps it in the zone. Rogers fighting for it in the corner now. Knocks his man off the puck. He's got it in his skates. He centers it to Dreyer, and it gets flipped out of the Hutchinson end down the ice. Bollinger stops it there, and Hayden Shivers gets it behind his own net. Hawks with some time now. Shivers to Dreyer. Goes past Dreyer down the ice. It's going to be an icing, and we'll have a stoppage in play. 2 more of our sponsors tonight, Alaska Metal Building Erectors and Snow Fire Gardens. If you're interested in sponsoring the broadcast, email us at HoustonHawkHockey@gmail.com or see Lisa Humphreys or Isaac Smolden for more details.
Well, I've seen some intensity pick up by most of the players now. I think Humphreys coming out in the second period has really sparked them.
Hutchinson wins the faceoff back to Wenner, deflected away but picked back up in the slot. They fire a shot that's deflected away by Reed Humphreys. Riley Scott in his own zone. He'll now start the rush out. He passes out to Kingery. Kingery with some speed across the blue. They got a 3-on-0 now right in front, and Kingery fires one that's wide of the net. Squires has it, chips it up to Kingery. Kingery passes up to Norton. Norton on the backhand, dumps it back in to Kingery. Kingery fires one wide of the net. On the point is Humphreys. He sends it back behind the Hutch net to the near side. Kingery's there on the hash mark. Chips it back in to be picked up by Cadle. Cadle into Kingery's skate. to Riley Scott. Scott centers to Squires. Squires steps to the middle, but it's knocked away from him. Up to Humphreys. Humphreys on the point. Fires one. Deflected into the corner. Thompson picks it up. Tries to send it out. Gets chipped behind the net. Now Nix moves in. Steals it from the Hutch defense. Nix tries to go to the middle, but it's knocked away by Wenner. Up to Norton. Norton on the point. Tries to fire one in. Deflected by Ermy of Hutchinson. Back into the corner it goes. Cadle picks it up behind his own net, sends it around to the far side. Humphreys is there. He fires one on net and he scores! That's the hat trick for Reed Humphreys. All three goals have come before the 6-minute mark of the second period. What a feat for Humphreys. He scores a goal basically every 2 minutes. And that puts the Hawks up by 4 over Hutch.
Yeah, and that was a good time to call a timeout after 3 goals for Hutchinson, but it didn't really seem to work. Houston has come out playing much better hockey, and we have a couple of players now playing in the second period that weren't in the first, and that's made a huge difference.
Taking the face-off now is JP Nix for the Hawks. He wins it back. Skelly will pick it up for Hutch, however. Back to Gillespie
Houston
on
goal,
the
9:23 remaining in the second
Poked out to
period with a hat trick.
Skelly
Number
sends
59,
it back to
Reed
Gillespie.
Humphreys.
Gillespie out to Dreyer.
Assisted by
Dreyer
number
rushes
44,
into the Hutch
JP
zone.
Nix.
Dreyer chips it in behind the net. Rogers is there to pick it up. Centers it to Dreyer right in front, but now Skelly ends up with the puck for Hutch. He'll clear his own zone. Nix comes in, knocks a man off the puck. Shivers chips it back to Nix. Nix is knocked down by Eastie. And now it's centered on net by Rogers. Hutch coming out of their own zone now. Back to Gillespie on the Houston blue line. Up to Nix. Nix dumps it in. Down into the corner. Savak picks it up. He flips it out of play. We'll have a stoppage and a defensive zone face-off for Hutchinson.
I'm seeing smarter hockey, though. Like right there is a great example of Noah Gillespie passing it from the defensive blue line into the neutral zone. JP just chips it into the zone, and that's what you got to do, especially now with a 4-goal lead.
Yeah, much smarter hockey. The one thing I'd like to see is some more connections in the offensive zone. We're still kind of throwing the puck. It's getting deflected. Sometimes it's going in, but we're missing some chances by just throwing the puck.
Yeah.
When it's not on net, that is. Humphreys on the point, fires one that's deflected into the near side. Isaiah Squires is there. He centers it. It goes past both Norton and Humphreys and down the ice. No icing on the play. Bollinger stops it. Goes behind the net. Humphreys picks it up. He'll start the rush for Houston. Humphreys passes up to Kingery. Kingery into the Hutchinson defensive zone. Kingery fires one that's way over the net. Up to the point now. Goes through Squires' skates, and Humphreys will recollect on the red line. Reed Humphreys wheels it around. Now skates up and flips it into the zone. Isaiah Squires is in the corner. He passes to Riley Scott. Scott right in front, and it's chipped away from him by Geese, the defenseman. Eastie moves up the ice for Hutchinson. He's knocked out the puck there by Riley Scott. Kingery recollects and now comes the other way. It's a 2-on-1 for the Hawks. Kingery to Scott. Right in front. He shoots and he scores! Great hockey play for Houston, and that's one of those goals that we would not have seen in the first period.
Well, and people might not know this, but the whole reason why that happened is because Riley Scott made body contact. He didn't just go to blow the player up, though. He made smart contact, knocked the player off the puck, picked up the puck, passed it to his line mate Kingery, who then gave him another pass right in the slot, and he scored. I mean, that's good hockey.
Yeah, great play. Make the connection. Kingery, great heads-up play, and he picks up the assist on the goal from Riley Scott. Hutchinson is changing their goaltender up as the Hawks go up by 5. Coming in to replace Brunty is number 9, Drake Varian. And now Houston will win the faceoff back to their D. It's Nate Hutchinson who passes across to Gillespie.
Houston goal,
Gillespie
7:49
out to the
remaining
neutral
in the
zone to
second
Rogers.
period. Scored by number 3,
Rogers up to
Riley Scott,
Dreyer.
assisted by number
In his
99,
skates now.
Ty Kingery.
Hutchinson ends up with it in their own zone. Passed across. Ermy sends it up the ice, but Gillespie will stop it on the Houston blue line. Sent up the ice now to Dreyer. Dreyer carries it into the zone. Tries to carry it through the skates. It goes off of them instead. Thompson will just clear the zone for Hutch. JP Nix sends it back down into the corner. Rogers is offsides. Hawks will have to clear. Hutch has some time to break it out now. Winner in his own zone to Ermy. Ermy across the red. He dumps it wide, and Thompson will pick it up on the far side. Thompson on the far side hash mark. Gets knocked off the puck there by Hutchinson. In the skates now. Ermy with the puck. to Dreyer. Dreyer to Squires, and Squires will try to flip it out of the zone. Good play by Wenner to keep it in for Hutch. Back to Dreyer in the neutral zone. Through his skates, and now Scott has a chance to pick it up, but it's knocked away by Easty, the captain. Good defensive play there for Hutch. Gillespie up to Kingery. Now Kingery to Scott as the Hawks move into Hutchinson's zone. Scott moves around the edge, and he's tripped up on the play. Stopped on the point now by Gillespie. Kingery fires one, and a leg pad save deflects it to the hash mark. Scott with the puck back up to Gillespie. Gillespie fires one off a skate. Humphreys just keeps it in the zone. Now he fires one on net that's way wide. Gillespie on the point, down to Kingery. Over his stick, it jumps into the corner. Scott has knocked off the puck by Easty. They're fighting for it in their skates now on the near side. Scott gets it knocked away from him, picked up on the far side by Squires, and he loses it to Shahan. Out to the point now. Gillespie just keeps it in, but it's picked up by Hutch and sent down the ice. And we're going to have an icing on the play, which has 6 minutes left here in the second.
Smart play by the Hutchinson Hawks there. The Houston Hawks had really carried play there in the zone. It almost looked like a power play. A lot of great physical work by Riley Scott behind the net. Just digging it, and he was winning battles, and then he knew when to change. He ran out of gas, and he got off the ice.
Yeah, so I'm going to make a correction. I said Reed Humphreys fired it in on net, way wide of the net. So I am just going to say he did not hit the net. He was definitely wide on that shot. Up to Porter Jones. Jones fires it in wide.
Well, he hasn't been wide 3 times tonight.
No, he definitely has not. Shahan fires it around to the near side. Up to Jones. Jones lets it go through his skate. Goes down the ice now. Humphreys will pick it up in his own corner, deep in the zone. Bollinger comes out of the net and actually falls down. Now up to Nix. Nix with the puck on the stick up to Dreyer. Dreyer moving into the offensive zone. Carries it down. He's tripped up there. And he's going to be down on the ice. A little bit slow getting up. Humphreys on the point. Has it. Carries it down in the corner. He wheels around a man on the goal line. Centers it, and it goes through Rogers' skates. Chipped out of the zone by Hutchinson. Up to Porter Jones. Jones on the red line. Passes up. Skelly knocks it away from Nix, and now it's chipped past him. Out to the neutral zone for Hutch. Down into the Houston defensive zone as Hutch gets a change. That gives Humphreys some time here. Begins to move up the ice. He's got some guys in front. He passes up to Kinley Scott. Kinley moves into the zone now. Centers it around and down behind the net. And it's going to be knocked away. Up to Caitlin Norton on the point. Norton fires one. That's deflected away by the defense. Centering attempt to Austin Jones. She almost puts it in. Can't quite get a stick on it. Now Thompson tries to carry it past Kinley Scott. Stops him there. Austin Jones knocks Easty off the puck. And they're fighting for it in the neutral zone. Stiers knocks Easty off the puck again. Ermey fires one in into Norton's skates. And the Hawks will clear to the neutral zone. Wenner dumps it in on net as Bollinger sends it to the corner. Hayden Shivers is there. Tries to poke it past. Doesn't quite make it. Easty comes into the corner. He's got a guy in front. Now Hayden Shivers knocks him off the puck behind the net. Still fighting for it. Easty ends up with it. Tries to circle around. Stripped to the puck by Kingery. Kingery sends it down the ice. Now Scott is hustling with Shahan, trying to beat him. Scott ends up with the puck in front, and then Shahan knocks it away with the stick. Centering attempt to Squires right in front now. Hawks had a bit of a chance there. Now they'll end up with the puck on the point. Norton has it. She fires one that's deflected away. Chipped up to Hayden Shivers. Shivers down behind the net. And Kingery's the first one there. He'll end up with it on the near side. Knocked away from him by Wenner. Easty picks it up around the far side. Chips it up. Stopped by Hayden Shivers. Chips it down into the zone. Easty centers it. Isaiah Squires picks it up. Squires shoots one on net. And Berrien's going to make the save.
That was a good save. That was kind of a bouncing puck there, and he caught it between his glove and his leg pad, so that almost snuck in.
So that line that's out there for the Hawks, I like to call them the triple-double X line in practice. It's the orange jersey line. That's Rhea Stiers, Austin Jones, Kinley Scott, the 3 girls playing forward. And with Caitlin Norton out there on defense, we actually had all 4 girls that are playing for the Hawks out there for that shift.
Yeah, that's a lot of estrogen on the ice.
Yeah,
they were really tearing it up.
9 X chromosomes out there for the Hawks for the skaters. Hayden Shiver contributing the only Y chromosome there on defense.
Yeah, well, he can handle it.
No, that line did a great job. They applied some pressure, and they're not afraid to take the body. I saw all 3, Kinley Scott, Austin Jones, and Rhea Stiers, all taking the body on that shift.
Against much bigger young men that they're playing against.
For sure. Hawks end up with it, and now Hutch picks it up, sends it out of the zone. Humphreys will stop it on the red line. Humphreys with the puck, elects to pass it to Gillespie. Gillespie gives it right back Now Humphreys passes up to Nix off of his legs. Rogers tries to poke it through. Nix ends up back up with it at the center ice. Now he carries it in. Rogers has it on the stick. He can't quite get a shot off. Hutch going the other way now. They make it to the neutral zone before being knocked off the puck by Noah Plum. Humphreys passes up to Rogers again. Rogers knocked off the puck by Skelly. Skelly sends it down into the Houston end. Goes behind the net now, and Humphreys will pick it up. Humphreys out to Nix. Goes past him. Wenner ends up with it in the neutral zone for Hutch. Wenner passes up into the skates of Noah Gillespie. Gillespie passes up and back to Shahan. Chipped across. Now Wenner passes up. Kept in by Humphreys. Humphreys keeps it in again, but now it'll be sent down the ice by number 10, Josh Bronson. And we're having icing on the play with just 2:33 left in the second period.
Well, I'll tell you what, the only action that Riley Bollinger has had this period is when he comes out of the net to play the puck to one of his defensemen.
And it's been a huge change from earlier in the first period where we actually saw Hutchinson outshoot Houston.
Yeah, definitely. He had to make some good saves, but definitely the tables have turned here in the second period.
So this line out there now, it's Trace Merrigan, Logan Shivers, and Austin Jones. Merrigan centering Logan Shivers and Austin Jones. Merrigan with the puck on the hash mark. Tries to skate it up. He ends up losing it. Gets tripped up by the blue line, then sends it back in. Hawks are just offside, so have to clear. Now Logan Shivers moving in on the forecheck. Passed up to Ermy. Merrigan moving in. Try to knock the puck away. Sent down into the corner. Bollinger kicks it to the side. Hayden Shivers knocks it away from Eastie. Kept in the zone by Geese. Now Austin Jones knocks it away from him. Starts skating up the ice. She gets it taken away by Eastie. Now Merrigan knocks him off the puck. Austin Jones in her skates. Chipped into the zone just offside. Now they'll move back in. Logan Shivers on the forecheck. Gets past him out to Thompson. Thompson on the red as Eastie's taking a bit of time to get off the ice. Looks like he got hit. It was leg to leg. And so that's got to hurt. He's going to be off the ice for a little bit with probably a bit of a stinger. Hawks end up with the puck. Merrigan sends it down the ice. We're having icing with just 1:34 remaining.
Yeah, that looked a little dangerous there. Sometimes you'll see a referee call a kneeing or something like that. Merrigan came in pretty hard. I don't think it was intentional, but he missed the check, but he caught him with a knee.
Yeah, those are always really scary, especially when Hutch has already got a guy out right now. Riley Scott taking the face-off as the Hawks' first line is joined by Porter Jones and Noah Gillespie. Scott wins it, goes back to Gillespie, he sends it around. Now Isaiah Squires moving up the ice with some speed. He's gonna pick it up on the hash mark. He's got two guys in front now as he carries it behind the net. Now he's on the far side. Squires up to Gillespie. Gillespie on the point, flips it back in. Kingery comes out behind the net to stop it. He carries it to the middle, knocked away from him by Skelly, who ends up with the puck on his own hash mark. Now Kingery knocks it away from Skelly. Porter Jones keeps it in. Kingery to Squires in the middle. Squires carries it in, tries to fire a shot, and the goaltender Berrien makes a great save to keep Squires from getting the goal. Hawks still have it though. Geese behind his own net, knocked away by Squires. Now Scott gets it knocked away from him, up to Porter Jones. Jones fires one, deflected right in front, trying to get a stick on it. Squires shoots, and Squires scores!
Yeah, I don't know how that went in. It might have went off a defenseman's stick, but it popped right up into the upper left corner of the net.
Yeah, puck was shot by Porter Jones. Rebound gets kicked right in front. And Isaiah Squires is there to finish the rebound. That's his second of the night here, with just 42 seconds left in this second period.
Well, and I don't know, but they might want to keep that puck. I think that might be Porter Jones' first high school assist.
You don't keep the puck on the assist.
Oh, you don't?
No, you don't keep the puck on the assist. Pucks are expensive. You can't just be passing them out like that.
Well, in my opinion, an assist is just as good as a goal.
I don't disagree with you, but also, so what happens if a guy gets his first assist and a guy gets his first goal? Do they cut the puck in half or something?
Well, in that case, it wasn't a first goal, so it would have been an easy decision to make. But
we'll see if they actually give Jones the assist here.
I think he made the play, actually.
I think he should get the assist on it.
He's the one who put the puck in front of the net.
Yeah, so Nix centering Rogers and Plum out there now for the Hawks to wrap up the period. Nix wins the faceoff back to Humphreys. Humphreys picks it up on the red, and he carries it into the Hutch zone. Humphreys wheels around, fires a shot, and he scores! Reed Humphreys with a goal just 10 seconds after the Hawks scored. And that's his fourth of the night, all coming in the second period.
Yeah, you can definitely tell that Reed Humphreys is a step above everybody else out here on the ice.
Yeah.
He picked the puck up from his
came-
defensive blue line and skated all the way down.
He didn't even look like he was trying to skate. He just stepped in and fired a shot on net. I mean, he came ready to play tonight.
Goal.
And can I say really quick, JP Nix is now centering the second line. And he's doing good. He's winning like the majority of the faceoffs.
If it was baseball, he would have played every infield position this game.
One back to Reed Humphreys, and Humphreys will pick it up on his own blue. Passes out to Plum. Plum has the puck on the stick and dumps it down into the Hutch end with just 20 seconds remaining. Rogers on the far side. It gets up to Humphreys now. Humphreys fires one on net, and Berrien's going to make the save to freeze things up with just 14 seconds left.
Yeah, Humphreys scored that goal before Wags had the opportunity to
announce the last one. I didn't even hear if Porter got the assist. We'll have to wait and see.
We'll have to see the score sheet here in a few seconds.
You know, we were talking about what a change it is from the last time the Hawks played Hutch. You know, Hawks win like 8-1 or whatever. It's scoreless after one, but they've just come out and made up for lost time here in the second period.
Yeah.
Norton fighting for it on the hash market, leaves the zone, and now Humphreys picks it up on the red with just 2 seconds left. Passes up to Rogers, and time will expire here in the second period. Night and day contrast in the level of play from the first to the second. Stay tuned. We'll have your second period stats, and then, of course, the drop of the puck for the third. It's a Houston iHockey live broadcast. Hawks, Houston 7, Hutchinson 0.
Holy crap.
Remember when we were young, breaking every rule they made. I never changed what we done. It made us who we are today. I'm taking every chance I get to make us who you won't forget. Who we are, who we are.
Welcome back to the Houston iHockey live broadcast here from the beautiful Big Lake Rec Center in downtown Big Lake, Alaska. Hawks are, I should really stop saying Hawks because it can be confusing. Houston is up by a score of 7-0 now after two. All 7 goals coming in that second period of play. What a monster period for the Hawks.
Yeah, well, it was good to have Humphreys on the ice in the second period. He missed the first period. Obviously, with 4 goals and an assist, he was a big part of that.
So let's look at our stats for the second period of play. The Hawks had 18 shots on both goalies there. They had 18 shots on one of the goalies, 9 shots on Brunty, 18 shots on Berrien. Of those, goaltenders combined to make a total of, let's say I have to do some quick math.
27 shots.
They made 20 saves in that period. So Hawks definitely threw it on net. Let's look at our goal scorers. Squires starts it out with assists from Humphreys and Shivers. That was on the power play. Then Humphreys has 3 goals in a row. 2 of them coming just not like a minute apart. On the last one, he picks up an assist from JP Nix on the hat trick goal. Then Riley Scott puts one in with a beautiful assist from Kingery. Squires gets another one, assist from Kingery and Porter Jones. So Jones does get the assist on that.
I guess you don't keep the puck for your first assist,
No, you
but
don't.
that was his first assist.
And then Humphreys ends the scoring spree with an unassisted goal there late in the period. No penalties for either team. If I'm the Hawks, I keep this up. I don't know if they were just waiting for Humphreys to come back in that second period or what, but they are a completely different team from that first period.
Well, yeah, Reed Humphreys makes it. He's a difference maker, obviously, but I hope that they weren't just waiting for Reed for the second period because, everybody has to be ready to play. You never know who is going to get sick or what have you, and so you got to be ready to play whether you have your captain on the ice or not. So I did notice, though, that others were picking up speed as well in the second period. So it seemed like maybe that Houston needed a period in order to get back into the game of hockey.
So we'll be right back here in a couple minutes with the start of the third period. Don't go anywhere. It's the Houston iHockey live broadcast. Houston 7, Hutchinson 0.
Comfort me, oh comfort me, I'm lining up to see the day you run for me, my love. Take a peek, oh take a peek inside my head. I promise you I'm not so scared at all. But I've been sad for days.
my mind. Baby's got a babysitter, a cocaine dealer. Stack up the money now. I'd rather be a hustler than a clown. When the world will be polluted by the ashes of the sun, ain't nobody gonna tell me where to run. If there is a God, she probably wants me to explore the universe. And if life is just a ride, it should be fun. And the air is free, I do whatever I want, and I'm coming up. The air is free, I do whatever I want, and I'm coming up. My heart is going bang bang when I sing for you. I live for the moment now, being in a one subconscious mind. Maybe I'm a one-trick pony, but I ride it, ride it, ride it, ride it, ride it, honey. Maybe I'm a master of the skies. And the world will be polluted by the ashes of the sun. Ain't nobody gonna tell me where to run. If there is a God, she probably wants me to explore the universe. And if life is just a ride, it should be fun. And the air is free, I do whatever I want, and I'm coming up. The air is free, I do whatever I want, and I'm coming up. Go to sleep in December, waking up and it's summer. Liberation of my life, moving into the light. And the air is free, I do whatever I want, and I'm coming up. The air is free, I do whatever I want, and I'm coming up. So the air is free, I do whatever I want, and I'm coming up. The air is free, I do whatever I want, and I'm coming up.
Turn your back, you're a broken man. They come around and just dying to shake your head. I don't expect you to understand. Just keep telling yourself there's no shame. They don't know about who we are. They don't know about you and I. They ain't no blind by the stars of your eyes. Oh, hot blood love is gonna get you. Prove you're the better man. You wanna reach for the things that nobody can. All you need is to break away, yeah. Just keep telling yourself there's no shame. They don't know about who we are. They don't know about you and I. They ain't no blind by the stars of your eyes. Well, hot blood love is gonna get you. Get up while you can. Get up and get up and get up again. Oh Lord, yeah Lord. Whenever I'm down, you're holding your light above me now. Never I'm down, whenever I'm down. Hot blood, yeah. Hot blood, get up and get up and get up again. Say get up and get up while you can. Get up and get up and get up again. Oh Lord, here's a final straw to take a stride.
Welcome back to the Houston iHockey live broadcast. I'm joined here by Aiden Ottengana. He's just coming off select tryouts, coming out to watch the game. He'll be back tomorrow. Aiden, what are you thinking of this game so far?
We're really putting the puck in the net. 7 goals in the second period. I didn't get a chance to watch the first, but so far I've just seen the boys and girls play really well.
Yeah, it's quite the offensive show. What are you, really the reason I wanted to call you up here, what are you thinking about this second line with JP Nick centering them so far in this third and fourth lines? To me, it looks like they're playing pretty well so far.
Yeah, JP, he's a very skillful player. He's a big guy, and he's doing really well actually, and making big hits, and he's making good plays, and I like that.
All right. Well, good luck tomorrow, Aiden. We'll hopefully see you on the ice, and have fun watching the rest of the game.
Alrighty, thank you.
The Hawks are getting set to take the face-off for the third period. They're still waiting on Hutchinson to get out on the ice here. But they'll just keep skating some laps, and we'll take a bit more of a break as Hutchinson hasn't quite got on the ice. We'll be right back in just a couple seconds with the start of the third period. Welcome back to the Houston iHockey live broadcast. Game between the Houston Hawks and the Hutchinson Hawks. Starting out the third period for Houston is the triple double X line. It's Kinley Scott centering Austin Jones and Maria Stires. They'll take the face-off here against Savak of Hutchinson. He's got Thompson and Ermi out there on the wing. Kinley Scott wins the face-off back. It'll be picked up by Noah Gillespie on his own blue. Gillespie up the ice to Stires. Stiers on the blue line now. Chips it out. Wenner stops it, sends it back the other way. Gillespie on his own blue. Flips it out to the neutral zone. Thompson stops it. Knocked off the puck by Kinley Scott. Savak ends up with it, tries to dump it in. Gillespie stops it again, passes out to Stiers. Off her stick, and Wenner will try to chip it in. It's in the skates now. Kinley Scott with it. Gets it up to Stiers and dumps it in. Back out of the zone, over to Porter Jones. Jones passes over to Gillespie. Gillespie on the blue, passes out and down the ice. And we're not going to have an icing as they're going to wave it off. They're going to say Hutchinson could have touched it up. Trace Merrigan now out there for the Hawks as the puck goes into the neutral zone, stopped by Plum. Plum carries it over and across the blue, and Merrigan is just offside, so we're going to have a stoppage in play.
Well, the Hutchinson coaches weren't too happy about that
Yeah,
wave
that
off
no
of the icing call.
I don't know if I completely agree with that one. I think maybe he could have touched it, but he got kind of caught in a bad position, so he wasn't able to get enough of a jump on it.
Yep, he was.
Plum centering Merrigan, and Logan Shivers now taking a face off in the neutral zone. Plum wins it to the side. Logan Shivers is there, gets chipped past him. It's in the skates of Reed Humphreys now. Humphreys back to Logan Shivers. Shivers dumps it in. Stopped by Wenner, leaves the zone. Caitlin Norton will pick it up on her own blue. Carries it down into the zone. The Hawks get a change. Riley Scott tries to jump on the ice and gets caught in the legs, and Noah Plum falls down on the play. We're having icing, and it'll go back into the Houston D zone.
Well, Norton sent it right to where the forwards should have been, except the forwards were
Laying on
changing
the-
lines,
yeah.
and there was no one there.
Riley Scott's line out there now, taking the face-off against Savak in the D zone, and Scott will win it back. Reed Humphreys picks it up, sends it, stopped on the point by Wenner. Wenner fires a shot, and Bollinger will freeze it as it hits him right in the logo.
Yeah, I like that logo, by the way. Last year's uniform.
You're welcome.
Yeah, the person who designed that did a good job. Last
wonder
year,
who that could be.
just had Houston on the front in words, and it's nice to have a logo for the other team to shoot at.
I do too. I really think that. I think the designer's an incredible human being. Icing. And we'll go back into the D zone.
And that puck was passed right in between Kingery's legs. He couldn't decide whether to turn right, turn left, or let it go through his
I was
legs.
hoping they would just ring it up the boards because that's their play. They ring it up. They got that far side guy streaking. That's how you get those breakaways, and it's worked in the past. Full disclosure, I did make the jerseys, and I do like them. But also, I'm not going to be so much of a...
Little choppy here in the first period.
Yeah, lots of stoppages. I'm not going to be so much of a pretentious jerk that I will lose all humility for myself. But it is nice to have them finally. We were playing the first half of the season with our old ones. We finally got the new ones, so that's good to see. I think everyone's fairly happy with them. Hawks lose the face-off. It's dumped into their zone. Kingery ends up with on the hash mark, sends it across to be picked up by Squires. Squires carries it into the zone. He's got Scott right in front. Elects to carry it into the zone. Now he falls down and hits the boards. Thompson centers it. Goes to hand. Back to Thompson. Thompson in his own zone. Puck is trickled up to Kingery. It's in his skates now. Kingery centers it right in front. Hawks can't quite get a handle on it. It's deflected away. Stopped on the point by Hutchinson. Jumps over his stick. And now Hutchinson with a stick lift. Make sure that Hutch can't move up the ice. Sent back to the neutral zone. Hayden Shivers moving to the puck, knocks it away. Kingery ends up with it, and it's dumped back into the Houston end. Nate Hutchinson picks up the puck on the blue line. Passes across to Hayden Shivers. Shivers up to JP Nix. Nix into the zone. Behind the net, fires one, deflected away. On the near side now, passed up to Hayden Shivers. Shivers dumps it in. Goes behind the net. Blake Rogers is there. Goes past Nix. Nix pins his man to the boards. It's in his skates now. Cody Dreyer coming in to help out. Gets up to Hayden Shivers, who chips it back into the zone. Behind the net now, Blake Rogers will pick it up. It's in his skates. Knocked away by Hutch. JP Nix goes in for a hit, doesn't quite make it. Now Hutch chips it out. They're coming back in with a 2-on-2. Dreyer back checking, misses the hit, leaves Hutchinson for a 2-on-1. They fire a shot on Bollinger. Bollinger makes a glove save to freeze play.
Yeah, not a real dangerous shot there, but great job by Bollinger to freeze the puck. face-off.
Triple double X line back out there for the Hawks. Kinley Scott centering Austin Jones and Rhea Stires. Scott loses it back. Hutchinson tries to throw it in. Sent out by Austin Jones. Wenner on the point, sends it back. Picked up by Porter Jones. Back up to his cousin Austin. Now Rhea Stires picks it up, now loses it off the stick. Dumps back the other way. Porter Jones fighting for it. Now Austin Jones comes in. Eventually Thompson ends up with it for Hutch, but Gillespie will pick it up, and now he's skating the other way with it. Gillespie into the Hutch end. Wheels it through into the corner. Centers it. Knocked away from Rhea Stires. Gillespie chips it back behind the net. No Hawks forward is skating. Hutch has some time to break it out now. Goes up the boards, past Kinley Scott into the neutral zone, and Gillespie will pick it up in his own blue. Across to Porter Jones. Jones passes up to Noah Plum. Plum has it in the neutral zone, into Hutch's defensive zone now. Plum tries to center it to the point. There's no one there. Humphreys will pick it up in the neutral zone. Fires one that's way over the net. Now Logan Shivers picks it up in the Hutch zone. Chips it down into the corner. Shivers going for it. Makes a hit on a man. Plum moving in. Leaves it for Shivers. Shivers off a skate. Goes back behind the net to Wenner. Wenner up the board. Stopped by Caitlin Norton's skate. She tries to dump it in. Gets it to Plum. Now Plum loses it, and Hutch will try to break it out. Doesn't quite make it. It goes back behind the net. Merrigan's there. He flips it to the middle, and it'll be picked up by Savak as it goes the other way. Reed Humphreys on the red line. Passes up to Noah Plum. Plum with the puck on his stick across the red, poked away by Skelly. Back to Plum. Goes past him. Skelly will pick it up. It's a 2-on-1 for Hutch. Centering attempt right to Hutch in front, and they score. Josh Bronson, backdoor, finishes on the wide open net.
That was a nice play by Hutchinson. They got a 2-on-1 opportunity, and the skater with the puck made a great pass. Humphreys, excellent effort. He laid down, but it got right underneath him, and it was a tic-tac-toe, one-time shot. Boner got a piece of it, but
yeah, Humphreys lays down to try to block the pass. It's a good effort, but it trickles just past him, and then Bollinger almost gets enough of a piece of it, but it deflects off him into the net. So Hutchinson will get on the board now as the Hawks' first line is back out there. Riley Scott coming into the zone. He centers it to Squires, and Squires shoots one that's just wide of the net. Riley Scott tries to send it up to the point. Bronson has it and sends it down the ice. Have an icing call on the play as it comes back into the Hutch.
well, let's see if that wakes up Houston a little bit. They came out, as you would expect, with a 7-0 lead. Not quite the same intensity that they had in the second period.
No, they're looking to come out and take a little bit more control of this game. They definitely let Hutch kind of battle back into it at this point. Scott wins the face-off, and Squires will try to center it, but it's off a skate. Now Hutchinson is racing for the puck with Skelly, eventually knocks it away to the corner. Bollinger picks up the puck, tries to send it out of the zone, doesn't quite make it. Hutchinson passes up to Kingery. Kingery centers, there's no one there but Hutch. Across, and now up the ice to Thompson. Thompson leaves it to Bronson, but Kingery picks it up, sends it back to Hayden Shivers. Shivers back to Kingery. Kingery skates to the middle now. He's got a 3-on-2. He carries it into the zone, to the middle. Fires one, deflected away from the net. Riley Scott in the corner. Pinned to the boards there by Skelly. Squires fighting for it now. Sent up to the point. Hayden Shivers fires one that misses by a county kilometer. Back up to Hutchinson. Tries to send it in, but Bronson is there to stop it. Gets out to Hayden Shivers. He'll fire it back behind the net. JP Nix coming into forecheck now. And he misses a check and falls down.
Wow, that was really dangerous.
Rogers pokes it away from the Hutch player, and Dreyer knocks it into the zone. 8:37 remaining in this third period. Hawks up by 6. Thompson with the puck on the hash mark, loses it to Dreyer. Dreyer up to Porter Jones. It's in his skates. He fires one, deflected away from the net. Blake Rogers on the far side, chips it up to Gillespie. Gillespie back to Rogers. Rogers is hooked from behind, no call, and he scores! Blake Rogers with the goal. Hawks response to Hutchinson's, and they're back up by 7.
That was a great effort by Blake Rogers. He He got hooked. He didn't give up on the play.
Yeah, that was a blatant hooking call. I think the no call just stems from the fact that Houston is up by so many goals, but there's not too many calls they'll come out and say should have been a penalty. That definitely should have been a penalty. Rogers, however, fights through the hook, and he manages to throw one on net and gets the goal for the Hawks.
Yeah, and let that be a lesson. You could look at the ref and you could start complaining, or you can keep your eye on the puck and take advantage of an opportunity.
Remaining in the third period. Scored
Kinley
by
Scott's line back out there.
Rogers,
Hutchinson
assisted
wins
by
the
number 2,
face-off, dumps it in on net.
Gillespie.
Gillespie behind the net. He gets an assist off of Rogers' goal. Now he passes out to Austin Jones. Jones ends up with the puck. She's got Kinley Scott with her. Jones across the blue. Carries it into the zone. Pass to Kinley Scott. She fires one and it's just wide. Taria Stiers right in front, deflected away. Up to Gillespie. Gillespie fires one off the skate of Savak, and now Hutch picks it up in their own zone. Hutch tries to send it out, but Austin Jones stops it in the high slot. Goes to fire, it's knocked off her stick. Sends it back to Stiers, but it's eventually picked up by Hutch and sent out of the zone. Savak coming out. He's got Ermy with him, a 2-on-1, but he elects to dump it in.
Wow, would have been nice to look up there to see you had a player with you.
Gillespie knocks it off Ermy's stick on the near side. He passes out to the neutral zone now. Wenner tries to dump it in. Plum stops him. Now Austin Jones fighting for it. She sends it past Wenner. It'll be picked back up by Hutch on their own blue. Carrying it to the red is Wenner now.
That's
Plum.
no interference
Knocks a
call
man
there.
down, no interference. I don't think it was on purpose, but it definitely could have been called interference. Now the puck gets sent out, and Merrigan is fighting for it with Ermy. Ermy sends it down the ice. Bollinger comes out and stops it to wave off the icing. He leaves it for Humphreys, and Humphreys will carry it to the near side. Humphreys up the ice. He beats Skelly with some speed, and he carries it through neutral zone. No contest as he sails past Thompson and now carries it behind the net. Humphreys up to the far side, fires one that's wide of the net. Scott will pick it up on the near side point, fires one that's off the skate of Thompson. Logan Shivers behind the net. Logan Shivers has the puck, tries to center off a skate, back to Merrigan. Now Scott has it up to Norton. Norton fires one that's wide. Goes up to Humphreys, he collects it on the hash mark. Humphreys tries to center it off a skate. Now Hutch will try to knock it out, but it's kept in by Riley Scott. Geese finally clears the zone for Hutch, and now Skelly will come back up the ice for Hutch. He dumps it into the far side. Bollinger stops it and sends it out to the neutral zone. Play stopped by Bronson, kept just in for Hutch. Humphreys behind his own net. Passes out to Kingery. Kingery passes over to Squires. Squires picks it up on the far side, carries it deep into the corner. He's got it behind the net now. Still holds on to it, eventually passes out to Humphreys. Humphreys fires a shot through the legs and off a leg pad. Norton sends it back to the corner. Picked up there by Kingery. Kingery centers, and it's stopped by Berrien. He stops it right in front, and now Hutch sends it down the ice to be picked up by Humphreys.
Great leg save by the goalie there for Hutchinson.
Yeah, he was Berrien's completely screened, but he does a great job playing his position. Comes up with the stop there off the shot by Humphreys. 5:30 left in the third period. Might as well name our sponsors one more time. That's Ace Waterwells, Snowfire Gardens, Alaska Metal Building Erectors, and the Brad Zweifel Company. If you're interested in sponsoring the broadcast, email us at HoustonHawkHockey@gmail.com or see Lisa Humphreys or Isaac Smolden for more details. JP Nix takes the face-off against Savak. Loses it to the side. It goes through the legs of Ermy, who dumps it behind the Houston net. Hutchinson is going to race for it. Dreyer actually picks it up on the hash marks, though, in his skates. And the skates of JP Nix now, and Dreyer clear the zone for Houston. Carries it to the middle. Dangles past Ermy. Carries it into the Hutchinson zone. And now it's kept in by Hayden Shivers on the point, who dumps it in for the Hawks. Behind the Hutchinson net, JP Nix picks it up. He's got it on the near side. Steps around. Geese knocks him off the puck, and he ends up with the puck on the far side. Geese tries to send it past Rogers. Nix knocks him down on the play. Now Nix comes back the other way with it. Sends it through the skates of Shahan. Rogers picks it up in the corner. Rogers centers it. Deflection. Nix gets his stick lifted, isn't able to finish. It goes up to Hayden Shivers. Shivers back down to Nix. Nix in the corner. Tries to center. Knocked off the skate of Shahan. Centered and eventually picked up by Geese, and Geese will pass out to Ermy. Ermy carries it at the red. He's got Geese with him. Across the blue. Tries to step past Hayden Shivers. Shivers knocks the puck away. Behind the net now. Sent up to Rogers. Rogers centers. Picked up by Kinley Scott. Kinley Scott chips it out to the red to be stopped by Leonard. Leonard dumps it into the Houston zone. Hutchinson is there to pick it up. Again, that's Nate Hutchinson, not the Hutchinson team. Kinley Scott passes up to Austin Jones. Jones gets it knocked off her stick by Thompson. Now Kinley Scott comes in, but Skelly ends up with the puck, and he crosses the blue line. Knocked away to Savak. Savak fires one that's way wide of the net. Hayden Shivers on the hash mark now. He flips it out of play into the bleachers. While the stoppage in play in a D-zone faceoff. Merrigan, Logan Shivers, and Noah Plum going out there to take the
I'm
D-zone
been a
faceoff.
little confused here. Noah Plum is wearing number 47. I thought he was 50, and then he also has.
He's
does
wearing
have Plum on
Brendan's
the-
jersey.
Oh, I see.
He's, his white jersey got lost in the shuffle, and it's going to be here eventually, but for tonight at least, he's wearing Brendan's jersey, so he's listed as 47 on the roster. Hutchinson wins the faceoff, and it gets shot on net, but Bollinger makes the save. It deflects out of the zone. Shahan's up there. He picks up the puck, passes across. It goes past the stick of Thompson. Gillespie will stop it, and now rush the other way. Gillespie's got some speed if he can beat Shahan. He knocks him down, but Thompson will pick it up. Now it's sent back to Skelly, and Skelly comes out of the Hutchinson end. In the neutral zone, knocked away by Logan Shivers. Now Logan Shivers again will pick it up. Pass back to Porter Jones. Jones across to Merrigan. Merrigan carries it up the ice, knocked away. Skelly picks it up now. Now Plum is there to steal the puck. Plum can't quite dump it in. Sent back to Noah Gillespie on the red line. Gillespie flips it into the zone through the skates of Wenner. Goes back for Shahan. Merrigan and Logan Shivers forechecking. Porter Jones stops it on the point, fires one on net, and Berrien makes the save. Wenner on the near side passes up, goes past Savak and down the ice. No icing on the play. They're going to say Jones could have made it. Savak now fighting behind the net for it, but it's picked up by Riley Scott. Scott will come out of the zone, passes up to Kingery, goes through Kingery and down the ice, and that is going to bring it back for a D-zone face-off here for the Hawks.
Another opportunity there where they had a potential breakaway and just can't seem to connect with that pass.
Yeah, Logan Shivers, have to mention, great poke check. He's of course out there playing with the one arm, and he does his, he just reaches out and knocks it away, stops the Hutchinson rush there.
Yeah, and he also got it back to the defenseman. So really smart play there.
Riley Scott taking the face-off here against Skelly. He wins it back to Reed Humphreys. Humphreys sends it around to Kingery. Right here's the play, and Kingery has a potential 1-on-0 with the goalie, but it goes past his stick and down the ice.
What do they say? Deja vu all over
and
again.
This is the play we're talking about. It's worked a lot this year. They just can't seem to connect it tonight. Hawks win it back. Defense throws it around the far side. They got that far side wing streak, but Kingery just can't seem to get a stick on it tonight. He's missing those 1-on-0 chances. He must have had 2 or 3 tonight, where he just can't get a stick on it. One back and shot on net by Hutchinson. Humphreys ends up with it now. He carries it out of the zone for the Hawks. Across the blue. Tries to carry it past Bronson. He ends up with it for a 1-on-0. Fires one on Berrien. Berrien makes the save. Now Squire's fighting for it in front of net. And they shoot and they score!
I think that's going to be Riley Scott.
That's going to be Riley Scott, I think, credited with the goal. I have no idea. Just a mess of Hawk skaters in front of the net, and they eventually put in the rebound. Berrien comes up with 2 or 3 pretty good saves, but they aren't able to get a handle on it. Hawks put it away for the 9th goal of the game.
Yeah, the puck was bouncing all over in front of the net there. I think it was Scott who finally got his stick on the puck and in the net, but I think that's going to be a point for all the line mates on that one.
Scott ties up his man. Kingery ends up with it and sends it into the Hutch zone on his stick. Got it in the corner, tied up in the corner. Gets up to Nate Hutchinson. Hutchinson passes across to Hayden Shivers. Shivers fires one on net, and Berrien makes the glove save. Did you catch who actually scored that goal?
Yeah, it was Riley Scott.
Riley Scott assists from Kingery and
Humphreys. So
I think that's Reed Humphreys' either 6th or 7th point of the game tonight.
Yeah, it's definitely his 6th. He has 4 goals and at least 2 assists.
You know, he was number 2 on stats before the game. He's now definitely cemented his lead for the Hawks goal point scorers here.
Yeah.
Nix ties up his man. It's going to be chipped in by Dreyer right in front. Now Rogers ends up with it, but it's knocked away by the Hutch D. Dreyer tries to send it up to the point, but he passes right through them, and then Hayden Shivers will have to dump it back in for the Hawks. Behind the net now, picked up by Geese of Hutchinson. Nix knocks it away, sent up the boards to Rogers. Rogers chips it back to Nix. Nix in the corner with it. He's pinned there. Still has the puck. Centers off a skate. Barely leaves the zone again to be picked up by Hayden Shivers. Shivers on the red line. Elects to dump it into the far side. Good hard dump. Gets deflected to the near side now. Nix sends it behind the net. Wenner picks it up, sends it all the way up, and past Hutchinson down the ice.
In the period.
No icing on the play as Hutchinson touched it up, so Bollinger will stop it behind the net. He leaves it for Hutchinson. Hutchinson passes up to Dreyer, goes past him to Shahan, and dump back in. Hutchinson's there. Off the skate of Dreyer now, back to Hayden Shivers. Shivers with the puck on his stick, carries it into the neutral zone. Wheels around a Hutch player and flips it down into the zone. Just 38 seconds remaining in this third period as Hutchinson now passes around into the neutral zone. Stiers breaks up the play with the skate, tries to dump it back in off of Wenner's stick. Sent back to the neutral zone by Hutch. Austin Jones dumps it in now, and Ermey will send it down the ice.
Good
Gets
work by
over-
the triple-double line there.
It's triple-double X. You gotta say the X. Kinley Scott carries it in, leaves it for Austin Jones. Jones back to Scott. Behind the net now. Rhea Stiers pokes it away to Jones in front. Jones can't quite get a stick on it, and Hutchinson will knock it away. Hutch tries to pass through. They get it to Thompson. Now Wenner ends up with it and sends it down. That'll do it for the game. The Hawks win by a score of 9-1 tonight with 7 goals in the third period. Stay tuned. We'll have your third period stats. And just a reminder to tune in tomorrow. We have a game at 10 a.m. against, once again, the Hutchinson Hawks, another conference game. Make sure you tune in for that. Stay tuned. We'll have the post-game show and our third period stats, as well as our third 3 stars of the game. It's the Houston High Hockey live broadcast here from beautiful downtown Big Lake at the Big Lake Rec Center.
Go Hawks!
Who you are. The road's gonna take and make you walk too far. You're a liar, you're a thief, you're a star, but you don't know who you are. You were just a kid with a sentimental heart, afraid of what'll happen before you would start. And you don't need the baggage, and you don't need the stuff, and you don't need nobody to fill your empty cup. Be who you are. Baby, you're a star. Never give up, Coltrane. Never be a slave to your own name. You're a poet, you're a fake, you're a star, but you don't know who you are. We can shine a light here inside the dark and get a little closer to the lonely spot. When there's nothing left to win, then you can only lose. What's keeping you from doing what you always want to do? Be who you are. Be who you are. Baby, you're a star. Be who you are. Lately, I've been feeling like the stars are rolling out for me. Stars are rolling out. Lately, I've been feeling, but the stars are rolling out for me. Stars are rolling out. But maybe then it's leading. Is it just the light reflecting off the street? You were just a kid
Welcome back to the Houston High Hockey live broadcast game between the Hawks and the Hawks. Houston ends up winning the first one of the Battle of the Hawks. Before we look at the stats, I don't know if it is a thing, but we should definitely have more of like a hype for the two Hawks teams playing. You know how like UAA and UAF do like the Governor's Cup? We gotta have like a Battle of the Hawks thing. So,
Yeah.
I mean, if we're starting that this year, Houston wins the first game in the Battle of the Hawks. For the scoring, Houston has none in the first, 7 in the second, 2 in the third for a total of 9. Hutchinson has 0 in the first, 0 in the second, 1 in the third for a total of 1 goal. In the third period, the Hawks had 2 more goals. That was Blake Rogers with an assist from Noah Gillespie and Riley Scott with assists from Kingery and Humphreys. Hutchinson picks up their only goal of the game in the third. It's number 10, Josh Bronson, off a nice pass from number 14, Ben Skelly off the 2-on-1. In the third period, the Hawks had total of 10 shots on the goaltender Berrien. Hutchinson had 5 shots on Boehlinger. Boehlinger makes 4 of those saves. Berrien makes 8 of those. Hawks had a total of 32 shots in the game, as opposed to Hutchinson's shots of 14. No more penalties after the first. Hutchinson had 2. I think there was a couple, a little bit of hooking, a little bit of tripping both ways, but nothing injury potential. I don't think it really affected the outcome of the game. Overall, pretty clean, a pretty clean game. And Hawks come out, dominate that second and third period, and they end up walking away with the W.
Yeah, well, Bollinger had 6 total shots on him in the second and third period combined, and he had 8 in the first period. So the Hawks definitely picked it up defensively as well as offensively after the first period.
So let's look at our 3 stars for the game tonight. That's they're all going to be from Houston. Star number 3 is going to be number 99, Kai Kingery. Has 3 points tonight, all of them assists. So, I mean, if for no other reason than you're complaining about how people don't get a puck off their first assist, then I'll give Kai star number 3. He picks up the playmaker tonight. If you actually looked at his stats, we had him before the game. He's one of the stats leader. He had 11 goals, 2 assists. So this will help him balance out those stats a little bit more.
Yeah, this will look a little better for him, actually,
Yeah.
a little bit more balanced there.
Star number 2, I'm going to have to, it's really a toss-up between Riley Scott and Isaiah Squires. I'm going to give it to Isaiah for this one. Both guys working really hard. I'm going to give it to Isaiah. No other reason than he's just kind of stepping up to fill Aiden's shoes tonight on first line. And even though Aiden's a freshman, those are still some pretty big shoes to fill.
Yeah.
He comes out with 2 goals tonight, no other points. Riley Scott actually has the same, hard-working game from him. He picks up 2 goals.
Well, yeah, you could really give them a
give a
2A
lot of-
and a 2B.
I mean, you can give a lot of guys the 3 stars. Gillespie has a point on there. JP Nix has a point in a great game. Hayden Shivers picks up a point. Porter Jones picks up a point. The Hawks have really, they're really good at spreading out. Blake Rogers with the goal. They're really good at spreading out their goal scorers. Now that I said that, I'm going to take it all back when we look at our first start of the game. That's number 59, Reed Humphreys. 4 goals tonight, all of them coming in the second period. He's a no-brainer for the first start. He picks up another 2 assists, ends the night with a total of 6 points.
Yeah, and that was only playing 2 periods
And he
of
only
hockey.
played 2 periods. I mean, that he's going to go out there and be a presence any night, but tonight he was the biggest presence on the ice when his team needed him. He came in, he fired the boys up, he really got things rolling, even on that power play, that first goal from Isaiah. That's all because, him and Reed and Hayden cycling it on the point. Reed fires a great low shot, and Isaiah does a great thing. He turns around off the rebound and buries it. Just a great play.
The other thing that I saw with Humphreys in the first period, I think it was, he was down there talking to Caitlin Norton, a young freshman playing defense. I think this is her first year of playing defense, and he was down there and he was talking to her and he was teaching her as well, and that's really important for a captain, also a senior. So it's great to see that he contributes in a lot of different ways besides the points on the scoreboard.
Yeah, Hawks had a lot of young guys. I mean, Caitlin Norton's become more of a regular on the blue line. I think she's seen the most play out of the younger guys and gals on defense for sure. She's kind of stepped up and taken that fourth defensive spot when JP moved up to forward. We also saw Nate Hutchinson out there, Porter Jones out there on defense. All the forward lines are playing. You got Logan Shivers, Trace is out there tonight. Noah Plum's out there again, and he's looking, he's a senior, but all year he's really stepped up, and tonight we just see him again out there really spearheading. When he's out there on second line, he's working hard, he's doing his job, taking bodies left and right, especially in the first. When he's out there with those last two lines, no change in effort, same level of intensity. Another great performance from him.
Yeah, and great job. I would say a great 2 periods of hockey.
Yeah,
A very good 2 periods of hockey.
Not a great first one, not a bad first one necessarily. I mean, Hutchinson doesn't score any goals. It wasn't the best. There were times where it looked good. There were times where it looked bad. They were taking the body, but it wasn't what you're looking for. And tomorrow morning, we hope to see them come out with a lot more intensity, play all 3 periods, really, get things under control right from the start. I'm sure we'll see some new faces tomorrow, some more of the younger guys getting in there. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, it's. I hope everyone who's tuning in tonight will set their alarm clocks and get up for tomorrow morning 10 a.m. game.
And this is big for the Hawks. They, if they win tomorrow, they've got another 4 points for the division, and then they get a little break. They get a week off before coming back to play senior night, and then they've got 2 road trips late and a game against Service. So we're winding down with the season, but after this week off here, we're gonna have lots of games. So make sure you're tuning in for those.
And tomorrow morning.
So we'll see you then. For all of us here at the broadcast, for myself, for my color guy, for the stats guys, and everyone helping out tonight, everyone that came on and did an interview, we'd like to thank you. We hope you have a good night. We hope to see you tomorrow morning. Go Hawks.